Well, if you're a PECO customer, no doubt you've probably been bombarded by ads from electricity suppliers urging you to make the switch. But before you do anything, it's important to know exactly what the PA Power Switch is all about. NBC 10 consumer reporter Tracy Davidson is here now with an expert to walk you through everything. Trace?
We will make it very easy so you can understand it. We're actually having a huge event to help you out tomorrow. We'll give you the details on that in a second. But first, Kathy Engel is from PECO. She's here to explain it all. So explain the concept of the PA Power Switch. We now get a choice.
You do. With deregulation, customers get a choice of who they can purchase their electricity from. And customers should know most of all that PECO is still their energy delivery company. No matter whom they purchase that power from, we will deliver to customers. We will bill customers. We'll be there to respond to any problems. They'll call us if they have any service interruptions. All of that stays the same. The difference is they're shopping with a competitive supplier, and they may be able to save some money.
I've tried to explain it to people is that your PECO bill is two parts. It's one, the actual energy, and the other part is the delivery. PECO's still going to do the delivery no matter what. It's the energy that you're shopping for.
That's exactly right. And if a customer chooses not to shop, PECO will still purchase electricity on their behalf. But again, there's a lot of offers out there right now. The PUC has done wonderful things to help us educate our customers. And there's so many great offers in ways that customers could potentially save money.
So I know they can go on papowerswitch.com. They take their PECO bill so they know exactly what their usage is, and they can plug it in and they can see the comparison rates. But you really need to ask some questions like, is the rate fixed? Is it variable? Those kinds of things. Explain that.
Sure, exactly. So first of all, beginning in January, we have taken the steps to put on every customer's PECO bill what's known as their price to compare. This is really going to help them. If a customer has that price to compare number, it's been calculated for them. So they don't have to do the calculation themselves. Then they take that number and compare it to the supplier's offer. And then very important, they want to know, again, is it a fixed rate or a variable rate? Because a variable rate may make sense for some customers, but other customers may want a fixed rate. And then also, what are the contract terms? Is there a length of a contract that someone has to sign up for and commit to staying with the supplier for a certain amount of time? And then also, great to know that if they choose to switch, if they choose to shop to another supplier or choose to return to PECO, they can always do that.
Now, this is one question that I continue to get, and I know the answer, but explain it so that people can understand it. Why is PECO not concerned about the people? Because 10% of PECO customers have already made the switch. Why is PECO not concerned about the people who are switching?
So we'll go back to your bill. If you think of your bill in two parts,
right.
The electricity that you purchase. If PECO's purchasing that electricity for you, that's a pass-through. We purchase the electricity, we pass that cost on directly to customers. It doesn't contain a markup. That's not where PECO makes its profit. PECO is an energy delivery company.
They make it on the other end.
That's exactly right. Perfect. And that's what will allow us to continue to be there with our poles and wires and our crews to respond to problems. So customers should shop and find an offer, and if they save money, that's all the better.
Excellent. And I know you're going to be with us tomorrow. So come out to our special event. It's tomorrow at the Pavilion at King of Prussia Mall. We'll be there from noon till 6. So PECO will be there. The PUC will be there. The alternate providers will be there. Just bring your PECO bill. We'll make it really, really, really easy for you.
Well, you might have noticed since Texas deregulation of energy 4 years ago, many energy companies are popping up all over the place.
It's very likely you've been approached to switch your energy provider or make some money selling it yourself. Channel 8's Macy Jetson explains what selling it is all about and how much money you can make.
Molly Breitenfeld is a stay-at-home mom who spends very little time at home.
I have two girls, one in college, one in third grade. I'm active at my church, do a lot of volunteering there.
Her busy life can be expensive, too. So when a friend asked her to come on board selling energy...
I'm just your average Plano mom, wife, volunteer, friend, and if I can do this, anybody can do it.
More and more people are making money off the deregulation of energy in Texas. They sell for independent energy companies. While the larger Reliant uses mass marketing, Ignite uses the warm market approach, selling to friends and family.
I don't have to have employees. I don't have to do billing and collection. I don't have to depend on reorders. It's a one-time service that helps people and helps me. And it's just being at the right place and the right time.
Breitenfeld shows potential clients how to save money on electricity, signs 10 up, and then finds 3 people who also want to make some money. Joel Claybrook is a CPA making more money selling Ignite Energy.
And so as these people start getting their customers and bringing on more business partners, and you promote and they start getting their customers, you're going to get paid on every one of those electric bills.
Claybrook built a team of 8 associates 10 months ago. His team is 3,000 strong now, and his residual checks?
I've made over $150,000, and that's on a part-time basis. But my personal goal is to have income, residual income, in excess of $100,000 a month.
That's a lot of customers, but the market is wide open, with 74% of Texas residents still using the more expensive TXU as their energy provider. Macy Jepson, Channel 8 News.
He did say per month.
Right,
I think he did.
$100,000 a month he hopes to get.
Well, you can find a lot more information about selling energy on our website. Of course, that's WFAA.com/links.
Well, they're going to be burning up the computers on that one.
I think they might, yeah. Get ready, web folks. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening.
Could save hundreds, even thousands of dollars if they would only switch to an energy provider that charges less.
But you know what? Most people just won't switch, and we've wondered why. 11 News reporter Jeremy Diesel shows us what he's uncovered.
You have the power to choose. Power that can literally save you hundreds of dollars a year on your power bill.
Join us, New Power.
But in the 4 years since electricity deregulation began in Texas, only a little more than 25% of people in the Houston area have left Reliant Energy, even though the price it's forced to charge is generally the highest. Minnie Lee Coleman is like so many others.
If it get unbearable here, I will cut it on and just sacrifice something else to pay the electric bill, because paying half and part, I don't do that.
Last night she told us she's willing to sacrifice, but not willing to leave Reliant for a cheaper price.
I don't trust them. And that's it.
But why? Houston Mayor Bill White is hoping to educate.
They shouldn't question reliability as far as keeping the right lights on, or what happens if there's a storm, who's going to turn back on the power.
Here's the deal. When deregulation happened 5 years ago, Reliant Energy divided into 2 completely separate companies. Reliant, which sells power, and CenterPoint, which delivers it. CenterPoint owns the lines that carry power, maintains them, and reads your meter, no matter who your power provider is. Come storm time, it's CenterPoint who restores power to those who lose it, not the power provider you pay. All of the power companies, Reliant, TXU, Green Mountain, Commerce, and more than a dozen others, all put their power on the Texas grid. It's then used by everyone. Your meter, read by CenterPoint, shows the amount you use. CenterPoint forwards that information to your provider, who bills you.
Who you buy your power from does not affect the reliability of that power.
But it can affect your bottom line. Jeremy,
this is NBC 10 at Issue. NBC 10 at Issue, your electric bill in 2011.
Good morning, I'm Steve Highsmith, but we start this morning with the electric bills of more than 1.5 million electric customers in southeast Pennsylvania. And with me is Wayne Gardner, a commissioner at the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission, the body which regulates the utility industry in Pennsylvania. Commissioner, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Steve.
May I call you Wayne?
Please.
Good, thank you.
Please.
We are at an interesting time. About 15 years ago or so, the Pennsylvania legislature decided it would be good for Pennsylvanians to have competition in a portion of the power that gets into their home in order to hold down as best as possible the cost. And this has been phased in over that time, and now this phase-in has come to the last part of the state to do it, southeast Pennsylvania and PECO customers. About 1.6 million will be affected by this in one way or another. So as you see this, is this area ready?
I actually believe that we're very ready. The fact that 40% of the state has already transitioned from under rate caps allowed us to get some momentum to understand the dynamics of the market and how consumers in particular are impacted when the rate caps will come off.
And it's different for every region. There were, I guess, 6 or 9 major utilities that were, running the old way, 10 years ago. And then as these phase-ins have been underway, and as you said, much of the state affected now. PECO, one of the largest, is now going to be affected starting January 1. So let's talk about what this is. If we could take a look at this. Rate caps are coming off the generation of power. And PECO is the default provider. In other words, you could sort of have a do-nothing plan. If you don't do anything, PECO is still going to be the supplier of your energy, of your generation. You can choose a different provider or supplier, though, if you think it'll be better for you economically. PECO will remain the distributor. So, Wayne, when we look at how power gets into your home, you've got generation You've got transmission, getting it from the generation point, the coal-fired plant or the nuclear plant, to where it's distributed, and then the distribution point, which is getting it actually into your home or your business. And PECO will remain that last point, that distributor, right, for everybody?
PECO will still be the party that delivers the electricity to you and ultimately to your outlet. PECO will also provide all of the customer service. So if there's an outage or interruption of power, or if you have a real concern about your bill, you will continue to be able to call PECO, and PECO will continue to provide the exemplary service that we've all gotten used to. I am also a PECO Energy customer. So from that standpoint, nothing changes. And if you decide not to take any action at all, PECO will continue to be the provider of service for you. However, the Commission, the Public Utility Commission, encourages all customers to consider shopping. There's an opportunity for you to save, anywhere from 10 to about 17% on your monthly electric bill. And for some consumers, that could end up being $300-400 a year.
This is NBC 10 at Issue.
So there are three major components to getting electricity to you. Generation, which is the production or the making the electricity, the supplier provider. Transmission, which is getting the electricity from where it's made to where it's distributed. And thirdly, the actual distribution, the delivery of the juice to a business or home. Starting January 1st, the rate caps, which have held down the price of power generation for more than a decade, are ending for PECO customers. So what happens if you're a PECO customer? What are your options? How will it all work? Well, with me is PUC Commissioner Wayne Gardner. We've been talking about that. If you switch to another supplier or provider, and you're still going to, of course, have PECO coming to your home, but someone else is actually getting the electricity for you, you're still probably going to have one bill, right?
Correct. In most cases, PECO will be the supplier of the bill.
Okay. Look at some of the names that you may run into. These are the suppliers out there. Of course, there's PECO. That will be the default service, and, of course, it will still be the distributor. But we're just talking about the supplier, provider, or generator here. In alphabetical order, some names: Blue Star Energy Solutions, Champion Energy, Commerce Energy, Dominion Energy Solutions, and there are others such as Energy Plus Holdings, Gateway, North American, Palmco, Respond Power, and others include Spark Energy, Stream, Verde Energy. You've got some that are more green-oriented. PPL has one. Energy Plus is Community Energy, for example. So a lot of names out there, and probably others that weren't in that list. Of the 1.6 million PECO customers, how many do you think in the first year or say will have?
Before PPL rate caps expired last year, December 31st, 2009, about 15% of Pennsylvania was out from under rate caps, and I think we had less than about 10% of residential customers shopping. PPL's rate is better than 35% of residential customers are shopping.
So about a third of their customer base.
Right. Just based upon the feedback that I'm getting from my friends, family, and relatives in Philadelphia area and the 5 counties surrounding it, I would be surprised if we're seeing less than 35% of PECO customers shopping.
PA Power Switch.
PAPowerswitch.com.
Commissioner, thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Very happy to